The Earth's crust is a layer of solid rock of the planet. As Earth's crust moves, rock is being taken down into molten rock beneath the surface. Sometimes this rock decomposes before it rises back to the surface and cools. The, decompos- the decomposition also produces gas such as carbon dioxide, water vapor, together, uh, which together with molten rock escapes the Earth's crust through the volcanoes. The distance from the Earth's surface to its core is over 6,000 kilometers. The crust is very thin surface layer.
Yeah, thank you. What did you get from this, Berzi?
That the Earth's crust is one piece, is a piece of the Earth,
Which is a
and
solid rock. Okay.
yeah, which is solid rock, and uh, molten rock moves through it as well.
Yeah. Okay. So when the Earth crust moves, the rock become it will taken by the Earth. Okay. Which comes to beneath the surface.
Yeah, and the distance from the surface to the core is over 6,000 kilometers.
Yeah. Okay, very good. So the Earth crust is the top layer of solid rock of the planet. Okay. So there are so many rocks because of the moving of the crust. They will go down and they will change. Sometimes they decompose before they rises back to the surface. Okay, and this decomposition always they will produce gas, which and mostly is carbon dioxide and water vapor. Of course, they will come and they will rise again. Okay, and from the earth crust through the volcano. You know the volcano, how hot is it? Because they are all molten rocks. Okay, and they will produce energy. Okay, and because they comes all from the decay, okay, of the radioactive decay and the heat from the earth core. Who can tell me what do we mean by the core? Okay.
Shall I say it?
Yeah.
The core
Yes,
core is basically the layer of Earth which is made of iron and nickel.
Very good. Yes. And is it under the surface of the earth crust or where?
Under the
Yes, it is under the surface. Okay. In the morning, I sent you like 4 videos. Okay. One of them is talking about the earth crust layer. Okay, please watch them. I don't send it just like this. I sent them for you to watch them and to learn from them, okay? Which is, and I always chose the easiest one, okay, because I like you to get it. Please watch them, okay? So you have the mantle and you have the core and you have the crust. The crust is the thin layer, which is the surface of the air. And then we will have upper mantle, then we will have lower mantle, and then we will have the core, okay, which is very heat. Why? Because it comes from all the radioactive decay of the rocks, okay, they are all, okay, melted, which we call molten rocks. They produce a large amount of heat. Okay, and as we said that decomposition also produce gases such as carbon dioxide, water vapor, and they will escape with the molten rock, okay, through volcanoes. And you should know the distance from the Earth's surface to its core is over 6,000 kilometers. As we know, the crust is a very thin layer. Okay, do you have any question, please? Okay, so as you know, sometimes we talked about the elements that we have, especially the metals, that we talked about that we can, okay, extract it from their ores, okay, which they are like rocks, okay, especially iron and nickel, and we have also kind of rock which we call it limestone. Who can tell me what is limestone? We took that so many times. We talked about limestone. What is limestone? Okay, Ada, what is limestone? Ada? Okay, who can answer me, please? Limestone?
Miss, is it calcium carbonate?
Yes, it is calcium carbonate. We talked about so many times. We said when it decomposes because of the heat, it will give us calcium oxide, which we call it lime. Okay?
Right.
Yes. And also carbon dioxide. So when CaCO3, which is limestone, okay, decompose, it gives us lime, or sometimes we call it quicklime, CaO, and carbon dioxide. You have the limestone cycle on page 15. On page 15, you have limestone cycle on page 15. Yeah, Aza, can you read for us that cycle? Aza. Aza. Aza, can you hear me? Hello? Yes? Aza? Can you hear me? Yeah. Hello? Okay, Dustin, can you read it? Dustin, can you read the cycle? Limestone
The cycle?
cycle?
Okay, miss.
Yes, it is on page 15. Figure 119.
What do you mean? Read the part from more detail?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
You will read the cycle from beginning of calcium carbonate in the top. And then you will come by the right side. Okay, you will start with the right side.
Okay. Calcium carbonate, which is limestone, heats up and gives
Yes.
off carbon dioxide and turns into calcium oxide, which is a lime or quicklime. Then, if you add water to that, it turns into calcium hydroxide, which is a slaked lime. Then, if you add more water and filter, it turns into calcium hydroxide solution, which is lime water. And then, if you add carbon dioxide, and that's a test for if you add carbon dioxide, it turns into calcium carbonate.
Yeah, no,
So
I
it's a
will
cycle
explain
happening.
this. Thank you. So please listen to me carefully. What's the limestone cycle? It starts with the calcium carbonate, which is limestone. Please highlight the word limestone. Limestone is the calcium carbonate. Okay, highlight, please. And when we heat that, it will decompose. It gives us carbon dioxide, which is giving off. Then we will have calcium oxide, which is lime, or we can call it quicklime. In IGCSE past paper, sometimes they ask you, okay, which of the following, for example, is quicklime? They will give you calcium hydroxide, they will give you calcium carbonate, and calcium oxide. If you don't know the name, you can't give a right answer. So you have calcium carbonate, which we call it limestone, calcium oxide, we call it lime or quicklime. Okay? Then by adding water again, we will have calcium hydroxide. In this case, we call it slaked lime, calcium hydroxide. It's a kind of wet, but it is not solution, okay? So we call it slaked lime. Highlight those names, please. And then we will add more water. We will get calcium hydroxide solution. Please highlight the word calcium hydroxide solution. And then in this case, when it turns to solution, we call it lime water. So the difference between calcium hydroxide, which is the slaked lime, it is only wet, it absorbs the water, but it doesn't become solution. But calcium hydroxide, which we call it lime water, it is solution, okay? This is, we use it, if you remember guys, we got this, okay? We said, for testing carbon dioxide by the decomposition of calcium carbonate, we need lime water, okay? So when the lime water, the calcium hydroxide turns milky, it turns milky, so there is carbon dioxide, okay? So that is used for the test of carbon dioxide. Where does that carbon dioxide comes from? Where does that carbon dioxide come from? It comes from the decomposition of calcium carbonate, okay? Did you get it? Please.
Yes, yes,
Very
miss.
good. Very good. Because it is very important. Okay? This cycle is very important and we got it and we talked about this so many times. If you go to your PowerPoint by the slide number 9, you have the same cycle, okay, which is limestone cycle. It starts with the limestone. By heated, we will have quicklime, water added, slaked lime. Then we will have carbonate again, which is the calcium carbonate, and we can test the carbon dioxide, which turns milky. And when it turns milky, it means there is carbon dioxide in that solution. How do we do this? When we do the decomposition of calcium carbonate by heating, we see that the bubbles comes. So we will pass a very thin tube through that beaker, and to that we will pass it to that solution which contains slaked lime, and we see that after the bubbling reached that place, it will turn milky, so we know that there is carbon dioxide, so the decomposition is occurred. Okay? So this cycle on page 15. Okay? The other one, you have another figure, which is 118. We don't need this. Why? Because we do this in the lab, okay? We will do this in the lab when we will be back after Eid, inshallah. Okay, and then we will do this in the lab. I like to show you how do we do it, okay? But this one is very important, the limestone cycle, okay? Do you have any question about this, please? Okay, ask me. Now we will go, to the problem of fossil fuel. Yeah, we will go to the problem of fossil fuel. Prusha, are you here today, Prusha? Prusha, you are not here today? Okay. And Baris, did you grab your book? Baris? Yes, please. Open page 15, the problem of fossil fuel. What do you get from the word fossil fuel? What are fossil fuels? Can you answer me, please? Is your mic all right? Yes.
Should I say it?
Yeah, please.
Do they include coals, gas, natural gas, and petroleum, oil?
Yes, Ara. Very good. Okay. Thank you. So we have also a slide, which is the beginning. You have the natural gases. Okay, to slide number 1. You have all the fossils, which is natural gas, petroleum, and coal. They all, look at the composition. Please open slide number 1. Okay, so you have natural gas, and the composition of this natural gas is carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. Please be very careful that you should know all the composition of these natural gases, okay? And mostly they are from carbon and hydrogen. That's why we call them hydrocarbon. And also they consist of nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. And if you remember, we talked about the nitrogen, how it reacts with the oxygen, and it will be nitrogen dioxide, which is, okay, not good for our environment, and it will pollute it. And sulfur also will become sulfur dioxide, and if there is rain, it will give us acidic rain. Okay, we talked about all this. Please, by petroleum, we have, inshallah, when we go to year 11, you have, okay, a big chapter which talks about the petroleum. Okay, how do we get it? What are the compounds of that? How do we make fractional distillation? Okay, those things you will get it in chapter, I think it is chapter 12. Okay, so we will talk about them later, but now you should know all the composition: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. Of course, there is minerals. Coal composition, which is also all of them with minerals also. So you should know all these, and they use it as we use them, okay, to give us energy, and we can also, they are many important source of energy, and also for raw materials like making plastic, drugs, detergent. Okay, all these, they come from fossil fuel. Yeah, it is in chapter 11 in your book. So please, okay, we talked about how they are bad for our environment because they will release carbon dioxide, methane by burning them. And to reduce all of these, we talked about the alternative of that. And we talked about the solar panel. We talked about the wind, okay, wind power, biomass, biogas, and all these we can use it. Hydrogen is very important nowadays. I sent also a video about using hydrogen as a fuel. Please watch it. It is a very recent, okay, video about how they use hydrogen as a fuel, and now they have a tank station of hydrogen gas in UK, okay, and they built the factory which is produce hydrogen gas, okay, next to the station, because for the it makes easier for them to assemble the pipelines, and the transportation will not be very risky. Okay, so please watch these videos, 5 videos you have about all the last subjects that we have. Okay, please watch them. So we will have, if you take a look at figure 120, which is on page 16. Page 16, please, in your book, okay, which is figure 120, okay, please, okay, who can read for us that figure? Yes, let me see. Mervin, are you here? Mervin? Oh, Dylan is here at last. Dylan, is your mic working?
Yes, hello, miss.
Very good. Hello. Where have you
Hello.
been? You
I
missed a
don't know,
lot,
miss.
Dylan.
Yes, I know.
Try, okay, to get everything.
The
And
notes,
please,
yeah.
please, okay,
Okay.
please follow the Google Classroom because
Okay.
I sent so many things, okay? Thank
Okay.
you. So can you read for us that box, which is in figure 120?
Sure.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Renewable energy resources suitable for development to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels.
Yeah.
Renewable energy resources, solar energy, biomass and biogas, wind power, wave power and tidal barrages, geothermal energy and hydroelectric power.
Yes, hydroelectric power. Okay. What do you know anything about geothermal energy? Dilan, do you know anything about geothermal?
About geothermal,
Yeah. Do you know something
oh,
about geothermal that you can tell us?
it's underground, I'm pretty sure.
Very good. It is underground heat. Okay. So it is a large amount of heat when comes and they can, because of the water, okay, they will cool down and then they produce turbines and then they produce energy from this. I sent also a video about thermal energy, okay? For those they don't know, the geothermal, geo means the earth and thermal is heat, okay? Thank you. So please, this is also very important, highlight this box, this figure, which is 120, okay, renewable energy resources. Okay, thank you. So we will have those which they are all alternative for the fossil fuel, because we talked about how fossil fuel pollute our environment, and we will try our best, okay, to reduce those emissions, especially carbon dioxide and methane gas. Okay, now we will have the hydrogen as a fuel. Okay, Daniela, can you hear me? Thank you. Daniela, is your mic okay? Daniela, she's typing something. It's not working. Guys, we are about to finish the book and I don't know why you haven't fixed your mic, okay? Because I like everyone to share. Okay, Aaron, are you here? Aaron? Aaron? He's not here. Very good. At the end of the lecture, he will join. Okay, I don't want that. So let me see. Rusha, you are not here? Rusha?
Mr. No?
Yes.
I think Aaron has a problem with his internet.
How?
I don't know. دوستا روشا he hasn't been playing and stuff. And جواب
Really?
الانترنت مشكلة here. Yeah.
Is Shadyar here? Shadyar. Shadyar? Shadyar? Okay. Shadyar? He is not here also. Very good. Good. Okay. And let me see. Yes. Dere? You were not here the whole lectures. Okay. Very good. Dere? Mirhos?
ما صوتين بيا أنا
Mirhos Mirhos
برالاتين بيا ميرهوز
Oh, yes,
وديرتين
yes,
بيا
yes. Yeah, okay. San Sarhan. San, he is not here also. Very good. Good. Now, okay, Ada, are you here today? Does he know that we changed the class? We changed the time? Okay. Now, Daro,
والله ما صح
can you read for us on page 17 the advantage and disadvantage of hydrogen as fossil fuel? Okay.
Advantage renewable
Yes.
if produced using solar energy.
Very
Second,
good.
lower flammability than gasoline, petrol.
Very good.
Virtual emission free.
Yeah.
Zero emissions of CO2, non-toxic.
Very good. So before we go to the disadvantage, what do you think about those advantages? Are they good?
Yes.
Yes. See, they don't have any emission. So when we use hydrogen as a fuel, okay, they are non-toxic, zero emission. They are lighter than the air, which is okay, and lower flammability than gasoline. Okay, it burns in its place without causing any damage. Okay, renewable if produced and using solar energy. So these are very good advantage of the using hydrogen as fossil fuel. Okay, as fuel, sorry. And we will come to the disadvantage. Okay,
Non-renewable
disadvantage.
if generated using nuclear energy or energy from fossil fuel.
Yes.
Large fuel tanks required.
Okay.
As yet there are very few filling stations where a car could be topped up to with hydrogen.
Yeah.
Engine redesign needed or a fuel cell system.
Yes.
And it's currently expensive.
Of course. So because it is a kind of risky, the transportation, so it costs a lot of money and they need large tanks. Of course, and inside the engine, we should have a cell system. What do we mean by this? You know, guys, when we have the electrolysis of water, okay, it will give us hydrogen and oxygen, okay? So they should assemble the fuel system, cell system, in a very good way that by, okay, charging the batteries and electrolysis of the water, it always work, okay? So we will have water which by electrolysis, it will decompose to hydrogen and oxygen, and this hydrogen and oxygen, they will react together, giving water again. So it is a cycle, okay, generating and then producing hydrogen gas, okay, and we should have, okay, a very near station by the production of the hydrogen, because it is more safer to transport the hydrogen gas through this pipeline to the tank station. Okay, but in future, of course, they will think about more, which they like, and it will be used instead of the fossil fuel, which is a very good news. Okay. Yesterday, I watched a news about a place which is, Costa Rica, that place. Because of this pandemic and this lockdown, that there are no cars on the street and there is nothing, so their climate change, is there is, like, they have measured the carbon dioxide, which is near zero emission, so their atmosphere is very, very clean now. So they said, the positive side of this pandemic, that it freshes the air and the atmosphere. Here also, not on in these weeks, the weeks before, if you have observed, our sky was so blue, the atmosphere was so clean, because we were all at home at that time, and then everything was so fresh. Have you noticed that?
بس ماس بارانش باری و
Yeah. بارانیش بس لەو شوێنانی کە خۆیان زۆر گرینن، زۆر جوان دیارە ئاسمانەکەیان، کە زۆر بلووە، زۆر فرێشە، هەستەکەی کە هیچ گازێکی تیانە کە پڵیوتی ئینڤایرۆمنتەکە بکات.
ڕۆینیش علاقی بەسە گلۆبال وارمینگ هەبێ
دیان
ئەو ڕۆینینی علاقی بەوە شێکە گلۆبال وارمینگ نەبێ ئیتر دوات
ئەی تەبعاً ئەی چۆن ئەمانە ئەگەر خۆی کاتە هەموو هینەکانی سایکلەکانی نەیچەرە وەستی ئەگەر ئەو شتانە نەبێت، وایە؟ یعنی سیر کە دیسانەوە نەیچەر زۆر بە فرێشلی دەستی کرۆتەوە بە سایکلەکەی خۆی، لەبەرەوە everything was so fresh and there was least emission of the gases, which is a very positive side of that horrible pandemic. Okay. So do you get the advantage and disadvantage of hydrogen gas? Please highlight. Please highlight. This is very important. Okay. This box that you have, advantage and disadvantage of hydrogen gas, is very important to know. So please highlight each point. Okay. Do you get it, please? Do you get it? Very good. Now, we will come to the hydrogen fuel as fuel cell. We talked about this, on page 18. Okay. And then we will come to the questions. We will come to the questions on page 18. Okay. Let me see who are, they have not participated. Okay, please guys, tell me if you want to participate. Okay. We will do those questions now. Okay. Is Yusuf here? Yusuf is in this class. Yusuf? Is Yusuf in this class? Yes, Yusuf. How are you doing? Do you hear me, guys? Yusuf? Good. Is your mic working? Please try, because I want to hear from you. It's a very long time I haven't heard any word. Okay. No, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Yes. No, I can't hear you. Sorry, Yusuf. No? So it doesn't work? Okay. So please try to fix it, guys. Okay. Yes, let me tell you something. Thank you, Yusuf. Thank you. So after Ramadan Eid, we will be back to school. I think that's what I think, and it is not fixed yet. We will have 1 week for revision, okay? For the revision, we will have only 1 week. And then I think you will have 1 week to study, and then we will do final. So be prepared. Please, guys, start with the revision from today. You have 5 chapters, okay? You have 5 chapters. Please, please, study in them, revise them. And I want from everyone, okay, listen to me carefully, this point. Which chapter is very difficult for you? Write down for me, okay? Either by the Skype or in your Google Classroom, you can, okay? Write down, each of you, write down which chapter is the hardest till now, from chapter 1, okay, till chapter 6. We don't have chapter 6. It means the end of the chapter 5. Write down for me. I want to see it, okay? Which chapter? Is it chapter 4? Is it chapter 2 or 3 or 5? Okay, which chapter is the hardest? Thank you. So, Yusuf, Yusuf, hear me. You were here when we were in chapter 4, I think. Am I right, Yusuf? Where, yes, Yusuf? Yes. So please, please revise those chapters that you were not here, and let me hear from you very soon, okay? If you have difficulty in them, and if you don't get them, let me hear from you, okay? And do you have any friends in our class? Do you have a friend? Yusuf, who is that? Let me hear it. Okay. So you can take his notebook, okay? Because, thank you. So you can take his notebook because we have so many things, and I usually depend, okay, on the notebooks that you have, because I write everything. I make notes of everything. Okay, please try to get that notebook or copy it. I don't know how. You should have it for your final revision. Okay, and let me hear if you have difficulties, okay, with those chapters. Thank you. Now, okay, guys, please don't forget that today I want to see which chapter is very difficult for you. If you are okay with all of them, say I am okay with all of it, okay? And please, please write to me very soon. And then what we do now, we will solve this problem, which is page 18, questions. Ara,
Yes, Miss.
please, can you do from question 120 to 126?
What makes an or different from any other type of rock?
Yeah.
They contain metals.
Yes, they contains different metals. That's why they are, okay, different. So there are different metals. That's why we call different ores. Can you mention some of them, Ara?
Zinc or
Yes.
bauxite.
Aluminum, iron, okay. We have nickel. These are all ores of different metals, which they make different rock. Limestone, okay. Ara, question 121, sorry.
What is the difference between lime and slaked lime?
Yeah,
Lime
what do you,
is basically the basic oxide, which is calcium oxide.
very good.
Slaked lime is basically a alkaline,
Yes, which
which
is
is
same
calcium
hydroxide.
hydroxide. Yes.
Very good. Then,
What useful chemicals can be made from petroleum?
yeah, what do you think?
Plastic.
Yes, plastic is the most common thing which they make from petroleum. Yes, and we have like a method which we call it polymerization. We make different kind of plastic. We have durable plastic, which they are very tough, like baskets, and some bottles, which they are not disposable. And we have low density polymers, which is they are cheap plastic and disposable, like bottles, water bottle, okay, the cup, coffee cup, or those plastic bags, which they are very cheap because they have low density, which we call it low density polymer. Okay, question 123.
What makes a gas a greenhouse?
Yeah,
Carbon
what?
dioxide,
Yes, carbon dioxide and
sulfur dioxide.
yes. And also we said they are trapped because of the large amount of the heat and they will reflect it back to the earth, okay? And they will cause global warming. Okay, 124.
Currently, what is the main source of hydrogen for use as a fuel? What is the disadvantage of this method?
Yes. So
So
we
basically,
got,
the main
yeah,
source of hydrogen for use as a fuel is cars.
yeah, very good. It's for transportation mostly, the vehicles. Yes. And we have the disadvantage we know.
It's like
Yes.
basically the amount of filling station is rare,
Yeah,
is low.
very good. And we have 126. What is essential reaction taking place in hydrogen fuel cell?
125. You missed 1.25.
Yeah, 25, sorry.
So basically, I thought it's less flammable than
Low
natural gas.
emission. Very good.
What
Yeah,
is the essential reaction taking place in a hydrogen fuel cell?
yeah.
Redox reaction.
Very good. It is a redox reaction. It is electrolysis of water, giving hydrogen and oxygen, which is hydrogen will be on the cathode and oxygen will be on the anode. Okay, this is the electrolysis by, okay, flowing the electricity current. And we talked about the electrode that they usually made of the inert gas, and graphite they use mostly because it can conduct electricity. Okay, thank you very much, Ara. Thank you. Yes, guys, we came to the end of this chapter, so nothing left on this chapter. What I will try to do, I will send the solution of the end of the chapter questions, okay, to you. Okay, you have question 1, 3, and 4, which they are very important. And if you see, they are all from past paper questions. So they are very important questions. Okay. and I want you to solve it by yourself. Then you should check the answer, and then I will send the answer to you. Okay? You have by question 5, by the end of the chapter, okay, which is a very good question. It is a very good question. Highlight this question. Question 5. Do you have it? On page 20. Page 20. Question 5. Okay. Please highlight it. Which the diagram shows part of carbon cycle, includes some of the processes that determine the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We talked about this, and you have also this, and we solved, if you remember, we solved also some questions about all of them, which by the photosynthesis, it will remove, by the respiration and combustion, it will add. Look at the arrows that you have, okay? It means those by combustion and respiration, they will add carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, and by photosynthesis, it will take it away, okay? That's why you will have the arrows like this, okay? This question is very important, of course, and you have also, let me see, you have also question 3. Question 3, please. Question 3, please. 2 important greenhouse gases are methane and carbon dioxide. This question is also very important. Okay, they are very good questions. This end of the chapter questions, they are very good questions. So please, please don't neglect them, solve them, and I will send you also the solution of them. Okay, to have a good, okay, idea about all of them. Guys, do you have any question about this chapter? It was not difficult. It was an easy chapter, I think. What do you think? Let me hear it. Okay. Do you have any questions, guys? I think we are done, okay, with everything. If I have something to tell you, I will let you know if next week we will have class or not, because next week will be the last week also for online teaching, okay? So if I have something, I will let you know, okay?
إيمس
If we
مكتب
جان
مكتب كده تسبيكا مكتب
دواجج مباشرة. اوكي شكو اما ويكيك معني ما مسكان اما لوتي هاتوين تمالا واني درزلينو بحمول يفلا كان سو يفلي ايو يانزو دوانزو سيانزم هبولا بداية تواني اوان توابون دميكا جا خريكي prediction بوين prediction يانزو دوانزو سيانزا كا it took a lot of time from us أو هم درجة أو هم موك إكزام وهوم وورك ورقانة هم حاضر كين هم يمكن بدرجة average دربينين. So we are very tired. So we need a week before the judging. So that's why next week will be the last week of the online teaching. I will see if I have something to tell. I will let you know if we will have class or not. Please write down if you want to ask anything.
Nah.
Okay. So how did you find this online teaching? I want to hear. Daro, what about you?